Well, you know, Thanksgiving is less than 2 weeks away. Oh my goodness, but you might already be, of course, meal planning. But there are some really good reminders to go over when it comes to all that prep in order to stay food safe. Make sure no one gets sick and everything is good. We have Amy Johnston here, and she is a U of M from the U of M Extension educator about food safety. It's great to have you here. This is such a good time. And of course, that would be the most horrible thing, that if the biggest meal of the year and you messed it up as the chef. So, and I'm doing it for the first time, so I'm reminding myself of all of your tips, and you have some great ones. So let's start out. We're going to start out by talking about thawing. So you get your turkey, it's frozen. When do you need to take it out? Do you put it in the sink? Do you put it on the counter? Do you put it in the fridge?
Yeah, so the best way to thaw is in the refrigerator in a shallow pan, just to collect any juices or drips. And you need to allow about 4 to 5, for every 4 to 5 pounds, about 24 hours.
Every 4 to 5 pounds, you need 24 hours. So, you know, figure out how big your turkey is and do the math on that. So it might be a couple of days.
Yeah.
Might be a couple of days. Okay, so then once it's thawed, I didn't know this. Once it's thawed, you do need to cook it within 2 days.
Correct. Yeah, we want to limit the amount of time that raw turkey, that raw meat is just hanging out in the refrigerator.
And a lot of people put it in the sink with water, and you say no on that.
Yeah, you can if you're going to then start cooking it right away.
If you're in a hurry. And then, but any of the juice that's on the bottom of the pan, make sure you get rid of that right away. Okay, now we're going to get into turkey prep. So you get the turkey in the oven, and so when it's all said and done, you get the really good thermometer that you know works, and it has to be at what?
165 degrees Fahrenheit is the minimum internal temperature that we're aiming for. And you want to test it in a couple spots because the turkey's thicker in different areas, so it's going to heat differently. So there's a few different thermometer types you can bring. I brought a few different kind of price points. This one is really affordable, couple bucks, a dial thermometer, but you do need to insert it to this little notch that is on there. Oh, that's a good point. So you really need to shove it into that really thick part of the turkey.
And is it in the breast or in the leg, or not near a bone, obviously, right?
Yeah, not near a bone, but yeah, you want to do kind of between that breast and that thigh, and then any other really thick parts, and test it a few different times.
And make sure between the prep and the cooking, you are washing your hands and washing all the surfaces that had that raw meat on it.
Yeah.
Really important. Okay, now we're going to talk about traveling with foods. So you obviously really, if you're coming with some food to someone's home for Thanksgiving, you need to use insulated carriers, and then check the temp when it comes and heat it back up to
165. That 165 is that sweet spot for reheating any kind of food, because if there was any kind of bacteria present, it's going to then get killed when it's reheated to that 165.
And you mentioned use a cooler with ice that packs tightly and keep the cooler until ready to serve. So keep everything in the cooler when you get there, and nice and tight is what you say. Okay, a lot of good options here that you brought. There's so many great things on the market now where you can keep things, you know, at maybe 165 from your home.
Yeah.
So that's good. Okay, now we're going to get into serving. Use warmers, chiller bowls. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so especially for like those appetizers that are going to sit out for a long time, there's chiller bowls that are super fancy that you can purchase. Otherwise, if you have a variety of bowls at home, you fill your larger bowl with ice and then put your bowl of dip in a smaller bowl inside the ice. And that's just going to help keep it cold below 41 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's safe to sit out.
A lot of people do have it sitting out a little too long.
Yeah,
you need to throw it away. So any more than 2 hours, you know, the ice melts, you got to get rid of that.
Yes.
Let's talk about, for a second, before we get into leftovers, allergens. You know, you're going to check if the family has allergies, but what do you mean by that other than that?
Yeah, so if you're having guests, you might have somebody coming with an allergen. So it's estimated 1 in 10 adults or 1 in 13 children has a food allergen. So you want to make sure you're not going to, one, either prepare something that has that food ingredient, or if you have to prepare that food, make sure you're keeping it separate. Use different serving utensils so that allergen doesn't spread to other foods, and let everybody know that this food is allergen free for this individual.
For Joe or whoever eats it. Okay, and this is an interesting thing. You said when you put the leftovers and all your great, and hopefully you can find the lids. You said, you know, it's a hot, let's say it's hot stuffing. You put it in here. You say put it in the fridge like this, open for a little bit, and leave some air. Now, why is that?
Yeah, we want to allow some airspace in the container for that heat and that steam to be able to leave. So leaving the container cracked, it's going to allow that to escape. So your food is going to cool down quicker. Otherwise, like right in the center, it could take, you know, hours and hours to cool
down,
which isn't a safe practice.
Okay, that's interesting. Then get it in the fridge and eat it all within.
You want to eat your leftovers within 3 to 4 days.
Okay, well, this is all good reminders for everyone. I'm hosting for the first time in a long time, so I'm like remembering all these things. Such good points. And we have more of Amy's advice from the U of M Extension Service, and we have a link to that on KARE11.com. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You as well.
Yeah, absolutely.